What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and we are hearing that there could be more new stimulus provisions enacted via executive action by President Joe Biden. And this is your stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, we just saw this happen today. For those of you that missed my earlier video, you might want to check it out, as we heard that President Joe Biden, he made an executive order, take a look, statement by the President Joe Biden extending a pause on student loan repayment for an additional 90 days, extending out that stimulus provision. And we're hearing that this actually happened after urging coming out from AOC and other members of Congress saying, listen, we're not getting Joe Manchin on board to pass through this legislation, and stimulus provisions are needed as the Omicron variant is raging. We are nowhere near done with this pandemic, and people need more financial assistance. 40 million Americans are depending on you to do this executive order, and he went ahead and did it. And you guys, take a look. House progressives, they're begging Biden to enact more. They want him to do parts of that $2 trillion bill on his own, saying pass stimulus provisions. Now, at the urging of Democrats, he's doing so, and we've also had AOC urge for unemployment extensions. We've also heard several people calling for stimulus checks, saying right now, we might need more stimulus provisions as we are nowhere near done with this pandemic as cases are surging as Omicron is on the spread. And you guys, we've got some video footage and some articles. I'm going to be letting you know about what they're saying right now as they're calling on Biden to pass more stimulus. Now, let me know your thoughts. Do you think we need more checks? Do you think we will get more checks? Will President Joe Biden do this without Congress via executive order? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, if you missed my video from earlier this morning, I also let you know in another video that we heard that President Joe Biden is trying to mend things with Senator Joe Manchin. They had an overnight meeting trying to discuss a path forward. So they're trying to go that route, but if they can't, we will see if they're going to be enacting some executive orders and executive actions to get stimulus provisions out. And I will keep you guys up to date. We're going to take a look at the video footage. But before we do, I also just wanted to say thank you guys so much for all the support on that second channel, Steve Ram Finance. And if you're somebody that's interested in growing wealth and learning about personal finance, this is going to be the channel for you. I'm going to go ahead and pin a comment down below. All you got to do is click the link, go subscribe, and turn on notifications. And when we launch, if you're somebody that's interested in maybe starting over financially by launching a business, investing in real estate, stocks, cryptos, the metaverse, this channel is going to be for you. I think it's going to help out a ton of people. I'm really excited about it, you guys. But let's go ahead and get you caught up right now on the latest economic news. And let's go ahead and start off by smashing that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Just takes a second, really helps me out a ton. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, totally free to do so. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. And you can come join the Ram fam, the viewing community. I will keep you up to date on everything going on. And if you got any specific questions that you want me to answer, I'm very easy to get a hold of directly. All you got to do is shoot me a DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. By far, best way to get a hold of me, you guys. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in and get you caught up on the latest. And let's take a look at new potential executive orders for more stimulus. All right, you guys, so we're going to be taking a look at the video footage here in just a second of what Pramila Jayapal, head of the Progressive Caucus in the House of Representatives, had to say. But first, let's take a look at this article and what it had to say on this as well. Now, link in the description below if you'd like to read it for yourself. And it says, House progressives, they beg Biden to enact parts of the $2 trillion spending bill. And it says, the leader of the group of the 95 left-wing House Democrats called on President Joe Biden on Wednesday, today, to take executive actions implementing portions of the $2 trillion Build Back Better Act. Now, the statement from Representative Pramila Jayapal came 3 days after Senator Joe Manchin announced that he could not support the current version of the massive social and environmental spending bill, which includes free pre-K, the expansion of social safety net programs, and tax increases on corporations and the wealthiest of Americans. In Congress, we will continue to prioritize a legislative path for Build Back Better, focus on taking the current text of the legislation passed by the House, keeping as much of it as possible, but no less than the elements contained in the framework negotiated by the President and committed to by Senator Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema some months ago, said Jayapal, the chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. We have worked too long and too hard to give up now, and we have no intention of doing so. Now, in the meantime, the White House must continue to act on a parallel track by using the president's incredibly powerful tool of executive action. Jayapal continued, the legislative approach, while essential, has no certainty of timing or results, and we simply cannot wait to deliver tangible relief to people that they can feel and will make a difference in their lives and livelihoods. So saying, you guys, we want to go ahead and pass this through Congress. We're going to try to get Manchin on board, but if he doesn't, President Joe Biden, pull out those executive actions. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But you guys, let's take a look at what she had to say yesterday before he actually enacted this first one today, as she already let us know that this was their path forward. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, official optimist of the Rachel Maddow Show. Thank you for joining us on what is a hard day to be the perpetual optimist.
It is really true, but I'm not giving up the role. But I always tell you the truth. And I think the truth needed to be told here, Rachel, which was that Senator Manchin did make a commitment to the president on the framework that the president, unveiled to us the day before he went to COP. And that framework, Rachel, would never have happened had the Progressive Caucus in the House not stood up and refused to pass the infrastructure bill until we got that framework and then until we got the legislative text. But I do believe that Senator Manchin has said many things. And look, he's a nice man. I have had good conversations with him. But I had to be clear that your word is everything around here. You can't enter into negotiations if you are not going to be an honest negotiator. And if you are not going to keep your word to the President of the United States. The President told me that Senator Manchin committed to that framework. And if there were things that weren't matching that framework, then you wouldn't go on Fox News the Sunday before Christmas and make a case that the Build Back Better Act is done and that it's reshaping the country in a way that is untruthful, frankly, but is reshaping the country in a way that's not beneficial for the American people. Rachel, we are in the midst of COVID. I think you're sitting in New York somewhere where Omicron is hitting hard. And the Build Back Better Act is about making sure we have elder care so that when people are suffering from COVID, they can be taken care of at home. It is about making sure we reduce the premiums for people to be able to get health care coverage in a country where I agree with Senator Sanders. We are the writers of the Medicare for All bill. We should have a different system, but at least we should bring down the costs of being able to get health care for people. The Build Back Better Act is about making sure we pay $35 for insulin instead of hundreds and hundreds of dollars or driving across the Canadian border. It is about making sure that we give people the ability to have childcare in a time when we've had a she-cession. Women have been pushed out of the economy and they're waiting. So these are real people. And the child tax credit, which is now not going to go out in January or February or probably March, means that millions of Americans are now going to be pushed back into poverty at a time when the virus is back on the surge. So, yes, it is a tremendous frustration because we all thought we were negotiating in good faith. And the optimist in chief of the Rachel Maddow Show says that the things that we are working on are hard. They are. If they were done, if they were easy, they would be done. They're not. They're hard. And we can't give up, and we won't give up. And that's why we will pursue a two-track strategy now to both push for the Build Back Better legislation to pass the Senate. And we are also calling on the president to take some significant executive actions that will make people's lives better today, and that will also put pressure on continuing to get legislation through instead of doing it through executive action. So we'll have a two-track process here. We're not giving up, but it's a hard day, I'll be honest.
So there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think that they should go ahead and start pulling out the executive actions or try to amend things in Congress to get this passed through with the normal means by legislation? Let me know your thoughts. Now, if they do executive actions, should they do it for the child tax credit? I know a lot of people said they wanted to see stimulus checks, unemployment extensions. What executive actions should be taken, and how is President Joe Biden going to be able to pull this off? You know, he can't just He does not have control of the purse. Congress has control of the power of the purse, so he could potentially reallocate funds. How much are at his disposal? Let me know your thoughts, you guys, but we will see what unfolds here, and I will be sure to keep you up to date here on the channel. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, smash that like button. Just takes a second, helps me out a ton. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. I'll let you know everything that's going on because I know there's a lot happening right now. And if you got any specific questions for me, feel free to shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3 by far. Best way to get a hold of me, you guys. And also consider joining that second channel, Steve Ram Finance, if you're interested in learning about growing wealth and personal finance. But with that being said, I hope this reaches you well. I will catch you in the next video. Take care. God bless. Have a blessed Christmas. This is Steve.